Compound Coalition with American Gun Chick happens to be in town here, so we thought we'd sit down and talk again. Let me throw you guys some music. Do you have your own music?
Well, I have music. Yeah.
You can use mine. I'll give you some of mine.
Oh, okay.
It says SOE.
So what do I do?
That'd be a good one for you.
Yeah. That's
all right. So, what are you doing in town?
All right. So, what's up, guys? I got into town because I just did a women's class with Heather and Kayla. It was called Mag Dumps and Mascara, and we just finished that. It was really cool. We've been planning this since last year, since alumni weekend last year, I think. And we wanted to come together and do this thing where it's all just women instructors, just women in the class, just all women owned pretty much. So, watching the baby. So yeah, we pretty much put it all together, built the syllabus. I came out early, like a week early, so we can put this together. And it was awesome. We got to go through the class, do all that, and then after we had a big slumber party, a big sleepover, and we just drank wine and played card games and all that stuff. And then the next day we did some mag dumps, shot some machine guns. So,
that's cool.
Yeah,
Who
that
brought
was
the
cool.
machine guns out?
Who was it? I can't remember his name.
Cool.
But yeah, it was someone they knew, and he came out and provided the guns and the ammo and all that stuff. So
right on. What's American Honey Badger?
So American Honey Badger is the company that I created. It's a women's training company, so it's based out of Texas, and it's just a group of women that like to train, and we all we're pretty much.
So that's you.
Yeah, that's
okay.
me. Well, no, because there's more honey badgers. Like you
Got
become
it.
a honey badger when you take a class with us.
Okay. So it's not a product line.
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me my microphone's not here? That's got to sound like shit.
Here.
Okay, now this sounds.
Is that better too?
I don't tell you what to do.
Huh? Oh yeah, we can totally hear him. There's a ton of shit over there that he can hurt himself on.
Yeah. Can you please pick him up?
Let me head out. Okay? This will be the best way to do it. And I was entertaining outside. Sorry, dude.
No worries.
Okay.
No
Sorry,
worries.
guys. That's a baby in the background.
Where'd you find a baby from? Who gave you a baby?
I don't know. We just found him in a box outside of Walmart.
You should be like, he gave me the baby.
Yeah, he gave me the baby.
He put the baby in me.
What's that?
Explain the logo.
Yeah.
There is a line too. I'm gonna leave. Okay, so
You're gonna leave? Where are you going?
just outside.
All right. All right.
I have baby noise in the back.
Help him open the door there. I got it hidden behind the.
Yeah. So, you know what? I just realized they can actually see this. Thought it was just audio, but here's the logo right here. If you guys want to, can you kind of see it?
Yep.
It's a honey badger, but if you look right here, have I ever explained this logo
No.
to you? What do you see in this logo?
A chipmunk. A
What?
badger. I get it.
What else?
Point it out to me. Shark's mouth?
No. What do you see? You see a pistol?
Okay, I totally see the pistol now.
Yeah,
yes.
so like here's the slide, here's
Yep.
the trigger.
Yep, I
here's
totally
the
see the
muzzle,
pistol now.
the grip. So it's a pistol, and then you see anything up here?
A sword?
A knife?
A knife, yep.
Yeah, a knife. Kind of like a sword, but yeah, so it's a pistol and a knife. And so I wanted to create a logo that was good for women because it's cute, but it's subliminal.
Cool.
So some women, they don't want to rock big, scary AR-15s on I don't think it's scary, but
Right.
big AR-15s on their chest. It might be a little bit too like in your face.
So we trick them into it to start with?
Yeah, we trick them into it because some women will see that and they're like, "Oh, that's cute. I like that."
Right on.
Then they'll wear it, but only me and that girl know that like subliminal.
So it's like the
you know?
secret handshake. So
Yeah.
how many students have been in front of you? How many students have you had?
I'm trying to think. I don't know the number on that because we've taught a lot of class. I don't even know how many classes I've taught.
Right
It's
on.
been a lot.
Weren't you just on a TV show?
Yeah, actually, I was on Surviving Man season
So
2.
I watched that. I saw
did?
it just popped up. I don't even know where I saw it. I think it popped
my
up
YouTube
on
channel?
YouTube. Maybe.
Yeah, I uploaded the first episode on my YouTube channel. So
So how did you do there?
I think I did pretty good because I didn't quit and I wanted to quit so bad because it.
So you made it all the way through?
Yeah.
Right on.
Everyone did except for one person. Spoiler alert. Everyone did except for one person. He like broke his leg.
Did you trip him?
No, but I should have. I'm
Yeah?
just kidding. No, we were like climbing up this berm and you had to climb up like 5 berms with a tire on your back. And the guys had 2 tires. Girls only had to have 1, you know.
But you want equal rights.
I know. The
So-
equality was not there, and he fell down and broke his leg.
So was there gun stuff in there?
Yeah, there was some gun stuff. But there was more like physical stuff, like working out and climbing trees and ropes and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Helicopter?
No, not
No
a
helicopter?
No, but swamps with alligators.
So that dude was a SEAL? Was he a team guy?
Don Man?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right
yeah,
on.
he's a SEAL.
Did you ever think you were going to die in there?
If the alligator ate me,
Like,
yeah.
did you see an alligator?
I didn't see it, but people were telling me that there was one in there, and they saw it. Like they recorded it, the producers, and they put it in the show, but I didn't like see it.
Did they have guys like there did they have rescue people there and shit?
The stupid thing is like they didn't.
They didn't?
Well, they had a boat out there, so like if someone's drowning, the boat's like right there, and they can jump in and get you. But I had a life vest too, so if I didn't have a life vest, I probably would have drowned. So that's good.
How many days were you there doing that?
7 days. So it was 6 days of PT. You know what PT is, right?
Yeah.
PT, working out, all this stuff, shooting guns, and then the 7th day was the mission. We went on like a mission, you know. So yeah, it was cool,
That's cool.
but it was rough. Like day 1, I'm not gonna lie, I went home like kind of in tears. Like this is so fucking hard. Like this is. Like, we were out there from, like, 8 in the morning till, like, 9 o'clock at night, just constantly doing crap, like, constantly. And I started to get a headache. I thought I was going to have, like, a heat stroke. And then right before that, like, during it, they gave us this speech. They always give us speeches about, like, the military and stuff like that, about how some guys in the military would get heat stroke and it would, like, kill their brain cells and then it would make them dumber. And I was like, I don't want that to happen to me. So I was all
Brain
freaking
damage
out.
from it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to do a second women's class coming up here?
Yeah, I think so. We haven't nailed down a date or anything, but Heather and Kayla were mentioning, we should do one in the fall. So I don't have any other details on
Okay.
that, but
How many students were in this?
21. I think there were supposed to be 22, but somebody didn't show up, so like 21.
Right on.
So yeah,
I wouldn't let them come to the next one. The one
I
that
know.
missed.
Like can't commit.
So how many music albums do you have out?
I'm trying to think. I think it's 5 songs. Let's see. Everyone Hates Me, The Disney Princess, Shake It Off, I'm Just a Girl. I think it's 4 or 5.
Are those
I'm
on
missing
Spotify or Pandora or anywhere? Where can I hear those?
No, but you can hear them on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
And then I sell CDs.
So everything's on one CD, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Are you going to do any more music?
Maybe in the future.
What'll dictate that?
If I could either come up with a really good song, because coming up with lyrics is hard. Like you have to sit there, and these are parodies. So these are already songs people made, but I twist them and make parodies.
Yeah.
So for people that have made songs from scratch, I give them a lot of kudos.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard.
So do you get demonetized on that since you're using other music tracks, or are you monetized on those on YouTube?
I'm pretty sure we get demonetized.
Yeah, probably so. What's the things that you're marketed? What's the thing that you put up for sale? I remember you did something for sale a while ago, and like there was a bunch of like shit talkers all over the internet on that. What was that thing?
Oh, that was a while ago. You're talking about the dust cover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was that?
So pretty much it's a dust cover. You know, like the dust covers on AR-15s? But it's really a bib. You know, it works like a bib, goes right there. But it's designed for women that, a lot of times you'll see women going to the range and they have low-cut shirts, tank tops, and a bunch of cleavage. Well, I designed that way when I made it originally to give it out to shops and to instructors and stuff like that. So when women show up like that, they could say, here's your eyes, here's your ears, but you also need a dust cover, because there was actually a incident where a woman went to a gun range and she was practicing shooting and she had a low-cut shirt and brass went down her shirt and she freaked out and flinched and turned around and pointed the gun at her instructor and cracked a shot off in his leg.
Oh, shit.
And they had to amputate his leg. So I'm like, I think that would have been pretty helpful, you know, in that situation. And
Maybe
a
he'd
lot
have
of people.
Maybe he'd have his leg.
Yeah.
So how many of those did you guys sell? Some of them?
Yeah, we sold a lot of them. Gave some to shops. A lot of people thought they were stupid, you know.
So that's where I wanted to go with that, really, because the talk around the internet was people trash talking, right?
Yeah.
But when you would find them and you'd click on their shit, like I would assume that none of them had commented on any of your other stuff, right? So dudes typically show up. You see it a lot where there's all these dudes like Gun Bunny this, Gun Bunny that. I'm sure you get some of that. It's kind of died out over the last year. But when you would look at those dudes talking shit about chicks, I'm like, do you hate tits? Like, what's your deal?
Right.
Because when you look at their pages, they're doing the same thing, right? They're like, oh, this chick, she's just, shaking her ass and holding some guns and has some gear on. But when you look at them, they're doing the same thing. Like it's all the multicam black guys, or they've all got their color and all their gears matchy match. Yeah, well, not even the vet bros, but they've got like really well manicured Instagram pages, but they're doing the same shit,
Right.
Like what's your deal? Like you should team up with one of these girls, if anything. It would get you more fucking traffic. But it's always funny, the dudes talking the most shit, like they don't have anything going on. Like you can always tell the difference between somebody who runs a company and somebody who works someplace, because dudes running companies, you don't see them out talking shit like that. So like we put stuff up about High Point all the time, and how Glocks are shitty and High Point's the best gun. And we put that stuff up because it draws so much traffic. Like we have a TikTok for our Pulling the Thread podcast. We have a TikTok, and we put a clip, a very short, I think it was like 15-second clip up. The first post we made on TikTok had 3 million views. It had 1 million views overnight. It's got over like 10,000 comments now on that.
TikTok's like the newest.
Yeah, and we put it on Instagram, same thing. When we put the shorts up on YouTube, same thing. But every time you see, and they're very rabid about it. They're just so fucking angry about it. But when you click the dude's name, when you click his picture on YouTube, for instance, you can see every post he's ever made on the channel. They've never made a post. So 14 years something doing of YouTube, 4,000 plus videos. Thank you for showing up finally. Like this is what it took to get you here. Now, why don't you watch some other shit? Maybe you'll find out that we actually are kind of similar. It's just it's a trip how people operate out of negativity, and they invest so much time into negative shit. And if you it's actually, I feel like it's more important to remove negative shit from your life. You'll gain more from removing negativity than even adding positive people to your life. Positive people will definitely pull you up with them. But the negative people, when you just remove that, family members, or I just cut access off, dudes on the internet, they're just dudes on the internet, right? Rogan's like, don't even read the comments, just leave them, because they spike the algorithm, drive traffic. But it's proven that at least for us, it's proven to work very well.
Yeah.
It's a trip, man. The time people invest into shit that they don't like, it's pretty wild.
It's weird. I mean, because that dust cover video, when I uploaded that on Facebook, it got to like 200,000 views, and it had like 1,000 comments, but all the comments were people arguing back and forth. I mean, okay, it's kind of goofy. It's a bib, right? But that's the marketing thing. Sometimes,
cleavage bib.
Yeah, like sometimes marketing can be goofy and funny and, quirky, because that's what sells. But it is useful too. But people were so mad, and like some big YouTubers that we'll get into that you were talking about were so pissed off. I'm like, dude, you're so mad about this thing that I invented. Like, if you don't like it, don't buy it for your wife,
Right. So let's go ahead and do that. I'd never heard of that dude. What's his name?
John Correa.
John Correa. So he has a YouTube channel?
Yeah. Active Self-Protection.
And what's he famous for? What's his thing?
He pretty much takes videos like from real situations, real footage, and he breaks it down, like the tactics and stuff like that, and talks about it. Which those videos are great. I have no problem with his videos. I think that they're really educational and they're really good. But him as a person, I think he's a shitbag.
That's fucking, people's perception, right? How many times have you see somebody, we watch YouTube channels, so you kind of feel like you know somebody, especially if they interact with you.
Yeah.
And then you meet them in real life and they're not at all like what you thought they were.
Yeah.
Like, especially on YouTube, right? Because so much stuff is so curated. I'll watch these channels, like homesteading channels, for instance, right? And you're like, oh, this person like really produces all their own food. But then when you actually go to their place, you're like, this is all bullshit. Like you see this, it's just a fucking, it's almost like a studio, a slice of the backyard or something.
Yeah.
And they didn't lie to you, but your perception is, it is our job doing these videos that people's perception is my reality, right? I want people I don't want them to believe something that's not what we're doing. So that's why we do lives through the day. Like you'll be inside the shop and we'll just walk around with a Facebook Live or an Instagram Live. because I want people to see that we're really here doing these things, you know?
Yeah.
So I always want, if somebody says something, I don't ever let them, like, dudes are like, when did you get out of the military? I'll be quick to tell them I wasn't in the military, right? I haven't said that. So it's a trip, the perception that people come up with. But I always want to make sure that the perception is correct, right? Because we open this place up multiple times a year. We've been having events, you know, upwards of 500, 600, 700 people. So I want to deliver what they perceive they're going to get, right? I want to deliver beyond that. So it's just a trip, though, when you watch people where you think that they're, especially like the faith-based guys, so many of these like Christian-based channels, and then you see them out in public, and they're not at all. It's all a fucking show.
Right. If we're being honest, and some people might get offended by this, but it's just the truth. The most religious people and the people that preach their religion the most tend to be the most judgmental.
Yes.
People.
Absolutely. I've got friends that are very, very, I don't even call it like, they're not churchy or anything, right? It's a whole nother thing, right? They are walking their path, and they are very convicted in their beliefs. And they don't like push that shit on you, right? Like these dudes are like, yeah, I'm so fucking Christian. I'm not even welcome at churches, right? Because I don't follow all their bullshit. So,
and that brings me back to John Correa. He's actually a preacher. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't.
Yeah, he's a preacher, and the way he was talking about me, he was on there and he was like, "Oh, well, you're just like a dumb gun bunny, and your boyfriend's probably behind there holding the camera, breathing all loud." Because
what was he so mad about?
The fact that I invented a dust cover. He got on there and he was like, I'd have to pull it back up to read it exactly, but he was saying like, "Oh, this is stupid." He was saying I was degrading women by creating a bib, but in the same sense, he then called me a gun bunny. So he's degrading me by calling me a gun bunny. And that's what stemmed that whole music video. But he's a preacher, and he's the most judgmental person in the gun community, but he's a preacher.
Weirdo.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Mike Glover?
Mike Glover. Why does that sound so familiar?
SF guy. He's based out of Utah. They've got some stuff going on in North Carolina.
I think so, yeah.
Fieldcraft and Survival. They had a TV show on Discovery for a while. They're big. They're growing. But I was just say him because he does these breakdowns of shooting scenarios.
Oh, yeah.
They're just fucking awesome. Like, if you want to watch a breakdown of shooting guys, fuck that John Correa guy.
Yeah.
Watch Mike Glover stuff. There's so many people out there doing that. Donut Operator does them now. So in the gun industry and the gun tuber and influencer, who's the coolest person that you've met?
Out of gun YouTubers?
Yeah.
Man, I have a lot of friends, so.
Just pick top 5. Just comes to mind.
Well, obviously Jaeger was like the coolest. You know? Because like everything he said, he stood out so much because he was like, "Hey, I'm going to start killing people if you come to get our AR-15s." That to me was cool because nobody else had the balls to do that.
Is that when you found him?
Pretty much, yeah. Because that was back in like when he went to the Bundy Ranch, and that was like 2015 or something like that. And yeah, ever since then I had a lot of respect for him and thought, wow, this guy is like, he actually does what he says.
How'd you end up in a class?
Well, I started a YouTube channel and was just like shooting for fun, and obviously I didn't know what I was doing. And there's this one video, it's a 380 video where I'm shooting, and it's like a little tiny bodyguard, and I'm shooting and I'm flinching and I look terrible. And James reaches out and he's like, "Hey, you need some training. I'm going to put you in some training." And he put me in like 9 days. Like, he pretty much told me, "Hey, come take classes." So that's when I went out there and got some training. And then later on I asked him like, "Oh, thanks for the classes." He's like, "Yeah, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said that's kind of like fixing the problem." He was like, "Yeah, I saw this girl and she's like, she needs help." You know? So
we would all do that when we'd see somebody like Tim Pool started talking guns and shit. And I'm like, "James, Tim Pool needs some fucking classes."
He does. There's a video I did talking about Tim Pool. Yeah, he was talking about like stopping power and stuff like that and in your home.
Were you on Tim Pool, or how did you
No.
actually met him at one point, didn't you?
No, I haven't met him, but I listened to his podcast. And Joe, my husband, he listens to his podcast a lot too. And one time he was on there talking about stopping power and guns and stuff. And I commented something on there and he read it, and then he responded to my question.
Got it.
Asking a question like, "Well, what would you have in your house? Like a 45 or 245?" Or I can't remember exactly what he said. And then so I went and made a video responding to his
Got it. Okay.
question.
Okay.
So I don't know if he watched it.
So I super chatted Tim Pool, I don't know, 20, 30 times probably, $100 bucks. $200, I spent a couple $1,000, and finally he read it, and he's
Yeah.
like, hey, you should come down to Tennessee and take some classes at Tactical Response. And I'd asked James earlier, and James was like, yeah, fucking, if you can get him down here, fucking, we'll get him in class. But he never did come take any classes or anything. But
Yeah,
I spent a lot of money to get him to read that fucking.
Yeah, I super chatted and put that question, and then he responded.
Cool.
So if he ever sees that video got like 100,000 views or something. So if he ever sees that video, maybe he will come
Good.
train, and I'll tell him, hey, come with me to Tactical Response.
At least somewhere, yeah. He definitely likes guns, and
Yeah.
he goes to a range and shoots some bullets, but he's not had any real training,
Yeah.
which is weird because I think like Luke Rakowski and some of those other dudes that are around him, they talk about training. I don't know where they've trained at, but I would assume that, you know, with that much money and stuff, those guys probably have access to,
Yeah.
you know, proper gear and stuff like that, rather than just.
Yeah, but he's
Right.
probably so busy because he does his podcast all the time.
It does seem that way.
You
yeah,
know?
Yeah, it does seem that way. Have you ever shot a high point pistol?
Yeah, I have a video on that. Have you seen it?
I haven't.
You haven't seen the... So originally when I made it, it got kicked off YouTube.
Why?
Because YouTube said it was unsafe or doing something dangerous. And the only thing that I can think of was at one point, I threw the high point out of the car. But it wasn't loaded. I mean, still unsafe, whatever. But it wasn't loaded. It was a funny parody video, and I was like throwing it out of the car like, this is trash. But they didn't tell me why. I'm just guessing that's what it was. But it was like, you know those commercials where they have like the sad dogs and it's like Arms of an Angel song? Well, I put that music over, talking about high points, saying these high points are suffering. Nobody's buying them. And I was tucking them into bed and gave them a goodnight kiss. And I was like shooting them and hugging, like, you know,
That was a
rocking
long
them.
time ago, right?
Oh, yeah. That was a
Yeah,
really
I think
long
I
time
have
ago.
seen that.
And it got kicked off. And then a couple years went by and YouTube said, oh, actually, we were wrong. You can put it back on.
Really? Just out of the blue?
And I was like, okay, yeah.
Weird. So do you know anybody at High Point, or have you ever like walked into High Point's booth at SHOT Show? Or
Yeah, I walk into their, actually, yeah, I hope they're not watching this. But yeah, I walk into their booth and I'm like, hey, I made a video on your guns. And they're like, oh, thanks. But it wasn't really a good video. It's kind of making fun of them.
But they didn't
sort of.
know. They didn't.
Yeah.
So we went through and made all kinds of like spoof shit about High Point, talking about how they're the best gun in the world and the military should use them. And
Yeah.
they went through all of our social media about a month or two ago and liked all of our comments and shit.
Yeah.
But we've never, like, we even have it's down right now. I have a High Point, the Champagne of firearms and shit over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I will tell you this, though. The High Point carbines are really good.
Yeah?
I got my first hog with one of those, so
Really?
yeah.
Were you on the ground, or how did you shoot the hog?
It was, I don't even know what the term is, but one of those giant, like, car things. I don't know what they're called, but those giant little, like, car things. So they drove, it was like one of the,
Side by side or something?
yeah, like a guided
Okay.
hunt. They drove me up, and the hog was right there, and I just lined up the sides.
Smoked
and
him?
Smoked him, yeah.
Did you cut it up, or what did you guys do with it?
No, they cut it up for us. And then, yeah, I took some of the meat home. I asked for the tooth. So they took the tooth, and I made it into a necklace.
Oh, that's cool.
So, yeah.
So what caliber carbine did you use?
It was a 10 millimeter.
Okay.
So,
And that just dropped that thing right in his tracks.
oh, yeah. There's a video on that, too. Yeah, I shot him kind of like in the neck, like in this area. And as soon as I shot him, it's like he screamed. His mouth opened up, and he just dropped.
Right on. Have you been hunting anything else?
Yeah, deer.
Okay.
I got a little deer. It wasn't very big, but
You been to Africa?
no. But that would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. You shoot bow at all?
Yeah, but I'm not as good as with guns, you know? So,
Yeah. Well, because you don't do it all the time,
yeah.
but you could be.
Yeah. You want to go to Africa?
Yes, but I don't have the time to go to Africa. But yeah, I would totally.
Yeah.
I would like to go to Africa. You know, they actually get up on those hogs and stuff. They hunt them down with dogs, and kill them with spears and shit.
Yeah, I've seen that before too. You know, like people in Texas do that too,
Mm-hmm.
where the dog will, each dog will be on the side of the boar, and then you have to come up and slit its throat.
Yep. Sometimes guys
like-
get fucked up.
Yeah, I'm like, I would do that, but I'd be scared, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, sometimes guys get totally fucked up with those things. Fuck, I forgot. You're gonna have to cut this dead air out. I can't remember. I had something I was gonna ask her. We'll go to the next one. So, do you think that all women should their first gun should be a revolver?
No,
Why?
because would you buy a typewriter to do all your work on the computer?
I'm writing my book on a typewriter.
Oh well,
There goes that.
yeah, I'm like, well, because we're more evolved than revolvers, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like revolvers they're not it.
Yeah.
I don't like revolvers. I mean, they're like antiques, you know. They're relics. They're cool. they serve a purpose as far as like just being cool, but no, I feel like we're more advanced than that, you know. And then with semi-automatic, you have more magazines you can carry with you, and women can handle semi-automatics. Like the fact that people are like, "Oh, buy your girlfriend a revolver because she's too stupid to use a semi-automatic." I'm like,
Jaeger had a whole thing about that. He's like, we trust our women to have our kids and drive and put on lipstick at the same time and grocery shop and come out of the vehicle with a kid in her arms and still somehow get to the car and not get abducted, but we want to arm her with 5 or 6 rounds.
Right.
And it's just horse shit. That's what he'd always said.
right, like a car has way more buttons than
No
a
shit.
pistol.
Yeah, good point. Good point. They're always going to default to their lowest form of training.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know where the revolver thing comes from. Like, it's just like, it's like telling you, oh, you should just get a shotgun. It's the same thing when they're like, oh, if you shoot them, just drag them back in the house. Yeah. Probably not the thing to do.
Right.
Move the body. That's always in the top 10 there. Move the
Right.
body. So you're saying not a revolver.
No, I'm
What do you carry?
Glock 43X.
Yeah. How come not a 19?
It's a little too big for me. So
Okay.
with the 43X, sometimes I still print, and I don't want to print a lot. And then also I look weird.
Weren't you carrying before the 43X?
Yeah, I was carrying a 43.
Okay.
So now I just upgraded to the 43X.
What's the difference in them?
This one has more rounds. This one has 10 rounds. The other one had 7. So
Got it.
I got more. I like having a couple extra rounds, you know.
So not a yeet cannon?
A Yeet cannon.
Have you seen those?
Oh, yeah. I've seen those, yeah.
The High Points?
Yeah. No, not
So
that.
has High Point sent you guns?
No, they've never sent me
Has
any guns.
anybody sent you guns?
Yeah.
Who sent you guns?
Stag sent me my first rifle. ATAC Defense sent me a 300 Blackout pistol
That's cool.
recently.
That's
so,
What's Stag?
Stag, they make AR-15s.
Okay.
And then they make other, like 300 Blackouts and stuff like that. But they make rifles.
Okay. So what gun what gun do you not have that if you could just snap your fingers and any gun fucking came to you, what would you want?
Probably a Zev.
Yeah, Zev Industry, like a Glock?
Yeah, it's like a Glock, but it's like the Lamborghini of guns.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zev was set up next to Strider. We were at SHOT Show years ago, and they were like, "Hey, we love all your stuff." And we got some buddies that have some friends over there. They have I got some cases from them, and their zippered hard molded cases were badass, and they gave us a couple jerseys and shit.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I kind of think that like they're on par with. I'm surprised they're not building the guns for like John Wick guns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know Turan's doing Glocks. I don't know who's building those things, but
His guns are cool too.
have you
I like
shot
his-
out at Turan's place?
Yeah.
Was
yeah,
it?
Terran or
Yeah,
you call him
Terran is.
Terran or
I've not met him. It's Terran?
yeah, Terran.
Yeah. I like if I could go one place, I think that's the place. Like people are like, why? I go because it just fucking looks fun, man.
It is fun. Yeah, I went out there. When was it? Like 2020 or something? Right before SHOT Show. I was out there. Went to his birthday party. Went to his range and shot. And
Did you shoot with him, or does he have instructors there? Or
I shot with him, but mostly I shot with the girls there. Like the girls, like Tony McBride and some of the different girls there. They'll help you.
are they super fast?
Yeah,
They get you going faster.
Yeah.
Could you run through the course and go ting 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 like all those?
Not
dudes you
like
see?
them. They're really fast. Like
They have home what's it home
Field advantage.
home field advantage. Yeah.
Yeah.
They do that shit all the time.
yeah.
That's cool. If you could go train anywhere right now that you have not been, where would you go?
Probably Clint Smith.
You haven't been to Thunder Ranch?
No.
They would totally. Why don't you go out there?
I don't know. I don't think it's kind of what's in Oregon, right?
Is it Oregon?
We just
I
have
remember when it was in Texas.
So he does some classes, I think, sometimes in Vegas, but home base is Oregon for now.
I'm surprised
Yeah.
you never went out there with James as much as they went out
I
there.
don't know. We just never made it out there,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. That'd
So
be cool.
maybe in the future, that'd be cool.
You've been to a lot of different schools and courses and stuff.
Yeah.
What stood out between most courses and TAC Response? What was like? You came back over and over to TAC Response.
Yeah.
What was it about there?
I think tactical response is just different than everywhere else. Like tactical response, they really they have it down like an actual school. Like a lot of places they have it down like that too, but here you have like a whole syllabus, and they really like James really thought about everything that he teaches and like a reason behind it and stuff. Some places you go, they teach you certain things, but they don't might not have a reason why they teach it. They just thought it was kind of cool.
Because they went to some
Maybe.
other class that did that.
Yeah, but I mean, other classes are great too, but it's just tactical response is really good. And then I also like the camaraderie here and how everybody is like a family and like everyone's really close. And I don't know, I just really like it here. So
You would think other places would do that. I know like Chris Costa, they all go to dinner and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's got a couple ranges that he uses that has like bunk rooms and stuff. But when you talk to people, like a lot of other places don't. And you would think that
Yeah.
they would kind of catch on to that because there's so many of these schools who have gone out. Like I know they've come here and trained, and then a lot of them have straight like ganked the curriculum for Fighting Pistol or other places.
Yeah.
But then they kind of shit the bed on they do the classes, but they don't do any of the follow through, like the aftercare,
Yeah.
It's a trip. It'd be like going and getting breast implants, and then they're like, okay, you got your tits now, and then that's the end of it. Like they don't,
Yeah.
hey, let's check for infection, or like,
Update
is
those.
this thing crooked? Or
Yeah.
it's like, what the fuck? Like you guys came and saw what was here. Like, I don't know how you skipped that part of it,
Yeah.
So why is a semi-automatic too much for most women to carry? Like we already kind of did that.
Yeah, it's
but-
not.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't know. I don't even really like when I first heard that people think that semi-automatic's easier than revolvers. I'm like, I don't really get that because I feel like semi-automatic's easier than revolvers. Revolvers are, well, I guess you just open up the cylinder and you pop them in, but I don't know. It just because like when I hold a revolver, I always am like trying to figure out how do you grip this thing because it's not as easy to grip
No,
like
I get it.
semi-automatic.
Yeah.
You know?
You should do a series where you walk into gun shops. Like it'd probably be hard at a lot of them because they're going to know who you are. But you should walk in like with a little bit of a disguise and just be like,
Like a wig?
I've never shot before. What pistol and a hidden camera, right? Just to
That would
see,
be a
just to
great idea.
see what they recommend,
I've never shot before. I'm kind of scared of guns. Which one do you recommend?
and
You
then
know?
be like, when they're like revolver, especially if they have a rental, like, can I just shoot the Desert Eagle really quick, or can I just shoot the Glock and then just like ting 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 ting? I know they don't have steel in there, but
Yeah.
just fucking X-ring that motherfucker.
Yeah. Actually, when I first started my channel, like in the very beginning, this kind of happened to me where I was brand new, didn't know a lot, went into a gun shop and I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of looking for something to carry, like a good gun for me. What do you recommend? They're like, oh, a Bodyguard 380. I was like, oh, women like that? Like women love this gun.
What is it? What's a Bodyguard?
It's like a little Smith & Wesson 380.
So it used to be like, wasn't that the Mustang, Colt Mustang?
Smaller than that. It's a pocket pistol.
It's even
It's
smaller than that?
It's
yeah,
like
it fits in the
this
palm
big.
of my hand.
Oh, shit.
And they were like, oh, they were recommending it. Yeah, women love this gun. Women hate this gun. How do I know? Because every class that I've done, we let them try that gun at the end of the day and then some other guns and stuff. And 90% of women are like, I hate this gun. I would never buy it. I don't even want to shoot it. Because when you're shooting it, like your hand right here, it starts to get all bruised and beat up and it's super snappy because it's so small. There's nothing weighing it down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what do you, like if a woman reached out to you and like, I've never shot, I want to go try some pistols. What should I try? What top 3 would you recommend for somebody who's not confident with a pistol?
You know, I would probably recommend Smith & Wesson Compact 2.0 because we use those in our classes, and most of the time, women love them. And I've had a couple women that have taken the class go and actually buy that gun. I would say Glock 43 or 43X are great. A Glock 48. A lot of women like the SIG 357. I don't really like it, but a lot of women say they like it. You know.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even know that cartridge was around anymore like, is it the actual 357 Magnum or it's like a 357 SIG cartridge?
I'm not.
It's the SIG
It's
cartridge,
the
right?
step down. It's the SIG, right? It's
Didn't
not the-
didn't
Yeah.
Glock have something chambered in that for a while?
I'm pretty sure any 40.
It's still a
caliber-
thing?
Yeah, you can.
Or
put a
is it?
357
Sorry,
SIG.
SIG 357 or 356? Am I getting
It's
it wrong?
357 SIG.
That's the caliber, but
Yeah,
we're not talking about the gun brand SIG. That's just the caliber, what it's called.
yeah.
Have you trained with SIG Academy?
No.
Got it. Where else? What's on your schedule for this year? What are you guys doing?
So we're still gonna do some classes in Texas, and then I'm not really sure. We might have some big changes coming. Might do some other cool stuff. I don't want to say
Okay.
anything yet, because just in case it doesn't happen, you know. But we'll see. But yeah, still training, uploading videos.
You
all
guys
that
living
stuff.
in Texas?
Yeah.
Did you when you started your YouTube channel, it was just you kind of shooting? Is that what it's always been?
Yeah, it was just me going out there plinking in my backyard or in the desert, just at cans and fruit, and it was just being fun and goofy before any training, you know.
Do you have another YouTube channel also?
The honey badger one, but we don't really upload that
Okay.
much there.
I thought you had like a travel channel or something, or did some travel channel videos at one time or something.
No,
No,
I wish. That sounds awesome.
you should do that.
Yeah.
Do you have a plan to get off the X while pushing a stroller?
You know what? I've thought about this a lot, and I've never trained this in Force on Force, so I've really only like thought about it in my brain because I've never been in a class where they, you know, gave me that, which I think that's important. So I might want to create, because we do Force on Force classes too, so I might want to create specific scenarios where you have like a stroller and stuff like that. But I always thought, you know, if something happens, I'm going to just push the stroller out of the way, get away from the stroller and draw my gun and get to business, because if I'm in a gunfight with that guy, I don't want to be anywhere near that stroller because I don't want that returning fire to come near that stroller. So ditch the stroller, get away, move, get off the X and just...
Do you have a stroller with you when you're out in public?
Yeah, not all the time. Sometimes I'm just holding my son, Colt, you know, sometimes I'm just...
Are you ever with Colt without your husband, or do you guys pretty much together most of the time?
Most of the time we're together, but sometimes I'm not with
Yeah.
him. So if I'm just holding the baby and something happens, the only choice I have would be to just, well, this sounds bad, drop the baby, would be to
Right.
put the baby down somewhere and get to work, because whatever happens, I mean, I don't want to be holding him while I'm in a gunfight.
For sure.
You know?
For sure. Do you always carry on body?
Yeah, like appendix.
Got it.
So unless like there's been examples like going to the beach or something going on, and then I would carry like in the diaper bag or something like that. But I don't recommend off-body carry. So yeah.
Or unless that's a secondary.
Yeah.
So what would you say to a woman who says she doesn't want a gun in the house because of kids or...
Because of kids, I would say just get a safe. Put your guns in the safe. Have them locked up, and then you don't have to worry about that. But if your kids are really little, like Colt can crawl, but he can't walk, stash your guns up somewhere really high. Like we have a closet there. I just put it in the closet really high. There's no way he can get it there. So put it up somewhere where they cannot reach it. And then once they get old enough where they can reach it, hopefully you have taught them firearm safety and to take it serious, so you don't have to worry about that, you know.
Or those biometric safes or something. You should get somebody
Yeah.
to sponsor you for those.
Yeah, we got some Winsett safes.
What are those?
They're like little biometric safes, like about that big. They sent us some. We did a video for them and stuff. So
And do you use those?
yeah, I put
Awesome.
all my like documents in there, you know, passport, all that stuff.
Right on, right on. What about what if a woman wanted a gun but her husband didn't want a gun? What would you tell her?
Get a new husband.
You married the wrong bitch.
Yeah, like what the hell?
We do a relationship advice, and it's pretty much when dudes are like, "My wife hates guns." I'm like, "You married the wrong bitch." Like that. There's a whole
Yeah.
compilation of me just saying that, but she married the wrong bitch. That's
Yeah,
what her problem
and-
is.
Okay, like if I wanted guns but my husband didn't want guns, that would be a turnoff too, because it's like, are you really a man? Like you're scared of guns, and that's weird.
But what if she was happily married? Like, what advice could you give her to maybe try to convince him or bring him on board on kind of a serious note? What would
I
you?
would maybe try to play into the fact of like, do you care about me? Like, if you're scared of these guns or whatever's holding you back from getting this gun, like, is it worth seeing anything happen to me, like me bleed out and die? Or if we have kids in the future, or if you have kids, your kids too. Like, if I'm out going grocery shopping, because he can't be there 24/7 with her all the time. Like, if someone broke into the house, do you want me to be vulnerable and get raped? And obviously his answer would be no, you know?
Right. So you see it a lot on prepping, right? Especially the conversation comes up a lot with dudes. Like, he wants to start prepping, and for dudes, that's like prepping means I want to buy a $65,000, Toyota 4Runner and put bumpers and a winch. And a lot of times the wife's like, we could spend money better places. And he wants to buy like 5 AR-15s that are identical and 10,000 rounds of ammo. And what we tell people a lot of times, like, if you can't get your wife or even your husband into a class, like a pistol class to start with, get them into a medical class, right? Because maybe you can sell them on medical, because How many times have we been driving down the road where you've seen a motorcycle stuck under a semi truck, or you've seen, a lot of people know somebody who's had an accident with equipment or machinery or a chainsaw or something like that. So maybe that's like the gateway to kind of open that door and open their eyes to the necessity of it, the need for it. But yeah, it's a tough situation when you're with somebody and then you kind of one of them wakes up and the other one doesn't. Things are changing. We should probably move further away from the city, grow some of our own food, have a plan to protect ourselves. We've amassed these things. Now, how do we protect these things, right? Everybody, like pacifists, right? Well, I'm just going to grow a garden and have a farm, and I don't have to have guns. No, you're in for a rude awakening. Like if you look at every country that this has happened in, the reason the terrible shit was able to happen is because they didn't have guns.
Right. Like it's just being prepared in general, not just with firearms, but everything, like you're saying, with food. Because I think 90% of people in this country are not prepared for emergencies and situations like you want to be prepared as possible. Like when I had my son, Colt, I was like, if he ever chokes on something or anything like that, I don't want to panic and freak out. As a mother, it's my responsibility to be able to be prepared to help him and be able to remain calm. So I went and took like an infant CPR class and learned choking and first aid and all these things, because if anything happens to him, it would be my fault if I couldn't help him and save him.
Yeah, exactly. Have you seen that thing for choking that they put over the mouth?
Yeah, I bought that.
Does it seem like it works pretty well, or is it easy?
Well, I haven't tried it or anything, but it looks like it does. I mean, you just put it over their mouth, you press down like a suction thing, and
you should try to choke your husband to death while he's asleep and see if it works.
Put an M&M or a grape down his throat.
Put something in there. Just see if it pulls.
You know
it
what?
out.
This sounds crazy, but I thought about taking a bite of a hot dog and swallowing it and choking on it to do it to myself to see if it works.
You better have somebody standing there.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, you better have somebody there when that happens. Since you become a trainer, let me get this here. Since you become a trainer, what do you think the hardest thing for new students to grasp and become comfortable with is? What do you think what's the biggest barrier that's most in common?
Probably actually carrying, I would say. Like they take the class, they feel confident, everything. And at one point, like in our classes during lunch, we're like, okay, load your gun. All right, reholster. Now go to lunch. And they're like, well, we got to take these off first. I'm like, no, you don't. Go to lunch. Because the goal of like them taking these classes, I want them to carry. If they go and take this class and they're like, oh, that was awesome, and then they go home and they never buy a gun, never carry, it's almost kind of pointless, Yep.
So
probably carrying, because I've had some people that have taken our class say, I tried to carry after that class, I just wasn't comfortable, and I'm like, you have to do it more. Like you can't just carry one day and then you're comfortable. You have to carry multiple times in a row. So probably the whole carrying thing, and then just the whole tactical thing. Some girls, they get so overwhelmed they just start crying on the line, and I'm like, are you okay? And they're like, this is just a lot for me.
I know a lot of chicks start carrying and automatically they start dressing like a lumberjack.
Yeah.
she's wearing denim now that she never wore, and she's got a flannel on to try to conceal. But things have really changed in the last, even 5 years, even 10 years, but especially like the last 5 years.
Yeah.
You see with the Utila clips, Ulta clips out.
Yeah.
You see chicks carrying appendix all the time, and they just have a shirt untucked over, and now leggings. Like you never saw a chick carrying a gun with leggings or without a belt just a few years ago, and now there's so many options.
Yeah, and that's awesome too, because I don't want to dress like a man every day just to carry my gun.
Yeah.
I still want to be a girl and wear dresses and all that stuff. So they have the Enigma, they have like belly bands.
What's your favorite? What do you typically carry for Kydex?
I like so I have a just holster with the Ulti clip. And I like that a lot. It works good because I can wear yoga pants and sweatpants, and like these pants don't even have belt loops, And then I want to try the Enigma though. That might be a game changer.
Yeah.
Heather turned me on to that, and Lewis. So
the Enigma, that's the Filster. Who makes that thing?
I'm not sure.
It's got all the stuff to it.
Yeah,
right?
and it's got like a stretchy band, so you can wear it like this, and you can wear like really loose pants because it's just on your stomach, So
maybe I'm thinking of something else. I got somebody I'll give you. You can check out, see if you. Interested in it. Amanda's got, I swear, we have a 55-gallon drum full of fucking holsters. Everybody and their brother.
That's awesome.
Years ago, people lose their job or whatever and thought, how can I get in the gun industry? I'll buy a toaster oven. And most of them, like, they could make a holster, but, whatever. Most of them kind of fizzled out along the way. But there's some companies out there that are fucking legit. And, we have every lot of people in the shop, and there's people here all the time that fucking carry a gun. Like, it might as well be for a living. You know, they got a gun on 24 hours out of the day. Well, I mean, unless they're, you know, sleeping, but
Yeah.
So
My wife had a problem with wanting to carry because she didn't wear pants that had belt loops. Now she's using the same holster that Amanda uses, and it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the Vacandi leggings. The company's Vacandi.
she's a little badass.
Yeah. Oh, Tactical Yoga Girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, they make leggings, shorts, all these things, and they're so comfortable. They're awesome. They have belt loops, so you can wear shorts and put a dress over it, or just wear the leggings. And
Yeah, her social media is very active, and she's fucking.
Yeah.
At least it look. I mean, I'm sure it's her doing it. They're not speeding it up, but she's fucking fast. Like, I just saw a video the other day where I don't know what she was doing. It was staged. She's out in the woods or whatever, and her husband was off in the woods as though he was a bad guy or whatever. But man, she's fucking quick getting that gun out of that shit.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, her stuff's pretty good. Her social media is very active. So
Yeah.
where are your social medias? How can people see your stuff?
Yeah, so if you look up American Gun Chick on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, that's where I'm at. So
And do you guys actually handle your own social media? It's not like a company doing all your stuff?
yeah. Joe handles all that for
Cool.
me, and we have editors that edit the videos and stuff. but-
Cool.
So yeah.
Did you ever cut any of your own video?
What do you mean?
Did you ever edit any of your own videos?
Oh yeah. Up until just probably a year ago. You know,
So are you Final Cut or Premiere?
I'd have to ask Joe.
Are you Apple or are you Windows computers?
I think it's Apple.
Yeah.
I don't edit the video,
MacBooks.
so
Got it. Right on.
yeah.
So what's next? Where are you heading from? Like, what's next on your schedule? What do you got going? If people want to take a class from you or whatever.
Yeah. If you want to take a class, lately we've been doing a lot of private classes. People will just contact us and we'll go out to the range, and if they want to bring groups and stuff, and out in Texas. But since we're on the road right now, I don't want to head back to Texas so soon. We might make a loop around, go visit some family,
Cool.
maybe go to Florida, do some cool stuff, maybe go visit Black Rambo.
Yeah.
We want to cross through and talk about some business stuff with him and
Cool.
do some fun stuff with him. It's
You should
always
do
fun.
some videos with them.
Yeah, definitely. We will. And then loop back. Then when we get back, do some classes and stuff like that.
Awesome.
So if you want to sign up for a class or just a private class, then go to AmericanHoneyBadgerUSA.com
Okay.
and go to classes.
Right on. So does Black Rambo ever? Where's he at? Florida?
No, he's in Houma, Louisiana.
Does he ever leave Louisiana?
Yeah, all the
Cool.
time. He does stuff. He's always going to SHOT Show and
Right on.
different events and stuff.
Cool. Right on. Well, thanks for sitting down with us.
Yeah,
And
this is fun. Any more questions?
whatever. Talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Man, I don't know.
Did you learn anything this weekend? I know you kind of explained it earlier, but this was to bring women into this world. It was kind of like a soft start into their path. Did you learn anything, or what did you see? Like anything that people wouldn't expect, anything like that?
Did you learn anything as a trainer that you'll implement into your future classes or
Yeah,
anything?
because Heather and Kayla were the other instructors, and they do some things a little bit different, but like some things they did different. I was like, that's better, So I'm like, I told Heather, like, hey, the way you broke down this was really good. Can I use that in my class? And she's like, yeah, that's fine. So yeah, I saw some of those things. The women did great. I don't know.
Do you think you had any women in class that this was like first time shooting?
I think there was a couple girls that never really shot before. I think all of them have at least shot one time before, but yeah, there was some that were really nervous. I could tell.
Do you think any of them will take the next step and go, for instance, like the fighting pistol?
I think so, yeah. And a lot of them want to take the class again because they keep asking, when's the next class? I want to sign up. They would have signed up right then and there if we had the dates,
So do you think you'll do like what it was, mascara and mag dumps?
Mag dumps and mascara.
Mag dumps. Will you do like a part 2, or do you think you'll just kind of do the same thing over again? You think there'll be like a -2 or an advanced version of it?
Maybe in the future. I don't know.
Maybe introduce rifles in there. Well, you guys did rifles.
Yeah.
You did like full on machine guns, huh?
Yeah, but that was just like for fun. It wasn't really learning.
That's still cool.
Yeah.
A lot of them chicks' husbands hadn't never shot a machine gun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, I'd have to talk to Heather and Kayla and see what they want to do.
Yeah, maybe get like a light medical in there or something. I know it's just like
Yeah.
a 1 day thing. It's 1 day or is it 2 day?
It's a 1 day thing.
Yeah.
But I think a women's only force on force would be great because there are some scenarios in situations where I think it could be specifically tailored to girls. Sorry, I just kicked
You're
you.
good.
Because, like you said, the whole stroller thing. I mean, dads have strollers too, but
Yeah.
you know, there's some situations where, yeah, you could tailor that.
How do you carry your baby when you're out in public?
Stroller or just in my arms.
Just in your
you
arms.
know.
You
I
know.
used to have one of those like infant
Yeah.
car seats, so I could just pick up the car seat, but he's too big for that now.
They're
So
heavy too, most of them.
I know. I'm like, he needs to start walking because he's getting too heavy.
Yeah. He's going to have to get a job pretty soon too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Start earning his own.
Bring him here.
Bring him here. Yeah. Yeah. We'll teach him something.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, it's always a good time. I love sitting here talking.
Yeah. We will see you in, we seem to see you about twice a year probably.
Yeah.
We've been doing Self-Reliance Festival. You guys should come out if you're anywhere near when we do it. The next one's in October, and we'll have upwards of 1,000 people. It's homesteading, and
Oh, that's awesome.
actually, you guys would probably do okay here because there are a lot of women here, and a lot of them are not shooters, so that might
Yeah.
be a way to kind of get them on board. A lot of dudes prepping. It's weird. Like there's a lot of families that are prepping, but then you've also have a lot of we get that question a lot. How do I get my husband on board, or how do I get my wife on board? And the opposite side of that, the one that's not on board is typically also not going to be good with firearms, not like good with them, but not okay with them. So that might be something where you guys could book some classes if you came out.
Yeah, that'd be awesome
But,
for sure.
Yeah, we'll send you all the information. This will be our sixth time. This will be our sixth one, and it gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And it's 2 days typically, but this time we're Evan's coming out and doing Radio Made Easy. He's coming out and doing Zero to Hero radio class on Thursday and Friday, and then SRF Self-Reliance Festival will be Saturday, Sunday, and then on that Monday we're doing a chicken processing class also. So everybody.
Oh, that's cool.
Joel Salatin, who's huge in permaculture and regenerative farming, he's been on Rogan a bunch of times. He'll be speaking at our event, and then he's doing a demonstration on it on Monday, and then we'll have a chicken for everybody that signs up for the class will get to process their own chicken and take it home.
That's cool.
So
let me know when that is.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
that'll be coming up. Yep, absolutely. Well, thanks for sitting down with us, Raquel.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man, I'm talking about realest, one of the realest to try. My family, SOE, got the tools to survive. Yeah.
Trying to tell